All right, about 4 days ago, I finished my 1982 round robin season. For those who may remember, I ordered a set of six custom NFL 1982 teams from John. I wanted all of my best friends as the head coach of their favorite team. In 1982, we played a hell of a lot of status pro football, the strike shortened season, and so I wanted to relive that through my favorite fast play football games. So John did those. I ordered those from John. Got them last, I don't know, months ago. Anyway, I've been able to finally finish my simple round robin season, and now, of course, all the teams will play in a playoff to see who can be champion. So in the round robin, the Washington 82 Redskins finished 5-1. Miami finished 4-2. Dallas 3-2-1. The Raiders 3-2-1. Chicago 2-2-2, which is fascinating as they shared a couple of ties with teams. One team worse than them, one team better than them. So pretty clever, pretty cool. Cleveland 2-4. New England 1-4-1, and Denver 1-4-1. So I ordered six of the teams that were all of us kids growing up, all of our favorite teams. And John threw in himself as the coach in New England, so that was awesome. And Cleveland without a coach. And then one of my viewers and subscribers one day watched the video and said, "Hey, dude, I'll be the coach of those Cleveland Browns." So I wrote him in on the card, so he's coming up here. He will be facing Dallas, Ronnie's team. So let's take a look at this. The Broncos, this is a team that has a heck of a time scoring, as does New England, two of the worst scoring teams in the league. Of course, Denver draws as the worst seed, draws the Washington Redskins, who are fantastic. Denver at Washington, so we're going to put it on here. Denver is 1-4-1. Denver and Washington is 5-1. Washington. We are in, oh God, what was the name of that stadium? RFK Stadium? Was that what it's called? I can't remember. I think it was RFK Stadium. Can't remember now. 1982 playoff round number one, game number one. This is the number 8 team versus the number 1 team. And again, I always started off with the hometown team receiving the ball. And we're going to play this baby out. Good luck to both coaches. Freddie, my dearest, two of my very closest friends. It's hard, it's one of those things where we literally all grew up together. Freddie, a Bronco fan. Despite how bad that Bronco team was in that 82 set, he played committed to his team, all smiles. Freddie never complained about his Broncos, no matter how bad they were. He is a true diehard fan of the Broncos. Scott Hewlin loved both Chicago, Washington. His little brother Eric liked Chicago and Washington as well, so I got his little brother as the Chicago coach, and Scott here as the Washington Redskins coach. Scott no longer with us. He passed away at 27, and so it's been many, 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 many years. But we're going to relive them right here, right? Old friends, never gone, right? When we have our memories and our commitments to their memory. Here we go. So Washington Redskins have no kick return, so we just started off, assumed the kickoff, and the Redskins go to work against let's face it, not a very good Bronco team. And here we go, folks. It's going to be the Bronco defense. 11. Turnover on downs. Washington drives down into Denver territory, and instead of trotting Mosley out on the field, they decide to test that Broncos defense, and it doesn't go well. Denver takes over, and they start a long drive. Their offense is in control, and they're going to roll in 11 as well. Turnover on downs. What the hell's going on here? In the playoffs, everybody's decided they're going to go for it. You want to live. There is no tomorrow, so you might as well go for it. Is that what's happening here? Washington takes over after their defense makes a stop of the Broncos here. All right, Scott loved John Riggins, as did I, defense, so I could see Scott calling Riggins' number and running behind the Hogs. He absolutely loved offensive linemen. Of all of us kids, we were all enamored with quarterbacks, running backs, the position we played in school or played in, but Scott loved offensive linemen. Unbelievable, dude. He just not many kids cared about offensive linemen. Scott did. Defense, Denver 5, picked off. Oh, Theismann. That would not make old Scott happy. Theismann intercepted by Louis Wright, one of the greatest defensive backs in history. Louis Wright cannot return this for a touchdown. I didn't know that. So Denver has a great punt returner, but no other return chances. All right, Denver goes to work after taking it away, but it is going to be the Washington defense dictating what's happening here. And picked off! What the heck's going on? We've got a mirror. They're mirroring each other too much. DeBerg intercepted by Dean, and they do not have an interception return TD. Oh, my God. Do the Redskins get their extra drive? They do indeed. So Washington takes their extra drive on a short field, and here they go. It's going to be offense 10. Turnover on downs. You have got to be kidding me. They drive down. So obvious. I'm wondering if there's wind or something, or maybe they're just outside of Mosley's range, and they're going for it. The Broncos take over. Do they get their final drive? Or their extra drive? They do. So, folks, they're eating clock and driving the ball. It is offense 8. Picked off. DeBerg's second interception today. Intercepted by, I'll just put a DB here. I don't know who all the guys are. And again, no return. That's going to wrap up the first quarter, folks. This is crazy. Now, we know Denver can't score points, but to see Washington with 2 turnovers on down, an interception by Theismann, unbelievable. That's our first quarter. Second quarter, Washington starts down the field. Somebody's got to break the ice here. Defense, 8. Red zone, there it is. Washington drives into the red zone. And Denver's defense gives up a field goal. There it is. They finally get close enough that Coach Hewlin says, let's go ahead and kick that chip shot field goal, guaranteeing a chance. Holy cow. Denver gets the kickoff, goes to work, and Denver's going to get defense 5 as a punt. So Denver has to punt. Washington goes to work. Here we go. Washington. No punt return for them, so they go to work after defense 5. It's going to be picked off. Theismann. Louis Wright and this defense intercept Theismann again. No chance at an interception return. The Denver Broncos are playing great football here in Washington. And Denver, the defense again, 5 punt. All right, does Washington... first of all, let's check end of half. Is it end of half? It is end of half on Washington. So we're going to go with Denver. Is it Denver's end of half? No, but do they get their final drive? They do. So Denver will get another drive in here as time will run out on Washington. So Denver's going to get a bonus possession. See if they can make them pay for it. 7. Punt. Unbelievable, folks. We have got 3-0 at halftime. This is crazy. As Denver's defense has picked off Theismann twice. Second quarter starts. Denver's going to get the final possession. Are they going to come out of the tunnel and get the first possession of the third? Wow. Washington here in RFK is not putting away the Broncos. And the Broncos, by far, were the worst team. I mean, record-wise, same with New England. But Denver couldn't score points. And again, they're being shut out in this. Defense, 6. It's going to be a fumble. Oh, Winder hammered in the backfield. Ball comes loose. It's going to be fumbled away to Butts or Millot. Millot will recover, but there is no fumble recovery. And Washington on a short field takes over. Offense 5 is going to be a punt. Oh, here it is. Denver finally gets a chance with this amazing punt returner, Upchurch. And touchdown! Upchurch takes it back to the house. Holy cow. That's going to be punt. Denver, Upchurch, holy cow, punt return TD, extra point, and the crowd here stunned as Upchurch burns them, takes it back to the house, and folks, we're in the third quarter, and RFK in Denver has literally, and we're going to go ahead and stay in order. Remember, that does not count as a... interceptions, punts, kick returns don't count as an actual possession, but they are recorded, obviously, as points. So Denver, offense, 8 is going to be picked off. My God, DeBerg. intercepted by, I'm going to put a safety here, right? And they can't return it for a touchdown. Washington, it's going to be defense 6, red zone. So Washington drives down against Denver, trying to take the lead back. 10, it's going to be a field goal. Mosley, they get down there again, and Mosley gets a field goal. Holy cow. I could see Scotty would not be happy about that punt return. Freddie all smiles as Upchurch was a stud. Denver, do they get their drive? They do. So Denver is going to get all their drives, it looks like. Here we go. And Denver on offense, 7 is going to be a punt. Man, they just can't muster any offense at all. Washington gets their final drive of the 3rd. And it is defense again, 6, red zone. Uh-oh, Washington has another chance. 2, field goal. Mosley drives down, and Scotty kicking those field goals because at this point, he just doesn't want to lose. I can just see Scott at this point going, I expected an easy win. Now I need every point I can get to win this. So Winder fumbled. Upchurch scored a touchdown, took it back to the house. That made it 7-3, folks. But then Mosley kicks 2 more field goals because we had a punt, interception, Mosley, 6. Oh my God, folks, it is 9-7. Washington going into the 4th quarter, and they've left the door cracked for a ambitious Denver team to feature the biggest upset in my entire 1982 experience with drive time football. Unbelievable. By the way, this is DTF, baby, my favorite fast play football, probably my favorite tabletop football game when it comes right down to it. All right, Denver going to work. Here we go. Denver's going to get defense 7. That's going to be a punt. They cannot muster. The defense of Washington playing great football. Washington goes to work. Defense 8. It's red zone. Washington has another chance. And it's going to be 7. Touchdown pass. Theismann finally breaks the code of this defense that's picked him off twice. Theismann with a TD pass to, wow, that's going to be to, we're going to float that out to Brown, baby. And can Mosley make that PAT? He sure can. PAT. And now Scott is all smiles as Theismann finally breaks the code of the Denver defense. Denver goes to work after the kickoff. Offense 11 is a turnover on downs. So now Denver knows they can't rely on Carlos. They got to go down there and score field goal or touchdowns. Unfortunately, the Redskins stop them. Washington offense 11 punt. They're going to punt the ball away, and we cannot return another for a touchdown, so we just move on. All right, here we go. Does Denver get their final drive? They could. Is it the end of half or game on them? It is not. So Denver will get every single possession. And that you can't ask for more with a chance in a close game to win. So their offense has managed to muster everything they can. They just can't move the ball. Defense 3. Red zone. Oh, no. Washington gives up a red zone trip, and the Broncos settle for a Carlos field goal. I don't know if that's a good idea. Washington, do they get their extra drive? They could. Does time expire? It does not. Washington with the final drive of the game in a close one. Offense 4 is a punt, and that's it. We're going to put end of game. Theismann throws a touchdown pass. They think they've got it won. Broncos get into, and for some reason, Freddie says, give me the field goal. I'll try an onside kick. Try to get the ball back. It doesn't happen. And Denver scores 10 points. Washington musters only 16 points against this defense. Holy cow. So that's going to make Denver 1-5-1. Washington goes to 6-1. As we are in the playoffs, Washington will advance to the next round. They will, of course, be, I don't know who they're going to face yet, but they will be at home as they are the best record in the league. Holy cow, folks. You've seen it here first. What a crazy game. The Denver Broncos, they have been painful. You know, that's a hard 7 games to play. They have just not been good. I don't know how Fred played them in Status Pro. Probably because he had no choice, right? We were going to play Status Pro every night or every afternoon or every morning. Whatever we were free, we were playing Status Pro or Pay Dirt. And and we always picked our favorite teams, and Freddie, of course, being a diehard Bronco fan, did as well. But I have a feeling Freddie would rather have done something. He might have wanted to do something else, but we were all married to our tabletop sports games. So there it is. Washington advances. Scotty, may you rest in peace, brother. You are right now the team to beat in this little experience. Okay, so thanks for watching. This has been Drive Time Football. It is 9:23:25. And we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 possessions in this game. And Washington mustered only 16 points. Denver, 10. And, of course, it came on an Upchurch punt return, which is nuts. DeBerg threw 2 picks. Theismann threw 2 picks. Theismann threw a touchdown in the fourth quarter. That proved to be the winning score as Carlos got a late field goal, not good enough. Both teams had 1, 2, 3, 4 turnovers on downs in this game, which tells you they got down to no man's land, or they got down close and said the weather conditions something. Said, forget it, we're going for it. And I have a feeling, mostly because you lose, you're done, you're out. So Freddie's going to have to do stats. So we had a rule, whoever wasn't playing, so I was playing, I would get, when I was on offense, I got to flip the cards for Status Pro, Jeff, and whoever wasn't playing, we had odd number, he had to keep stats. So Freddie would keep time, he would have to keep the time ticks, because if you remember the old Status Pro, they had score sheets that had time boxes. So Freddie now will be forced to track time and stats. That's what would be happening. He'd be sitting at the edge of the table tracking time and statistics. Jeff and I might also track our own stats, but yeah, that's kind of what happened with the odd man out. Now again, we have 8 competitors in here, so this would be a crowded basement. In my childhood, this would have been a crowded room, right? But we generally had 6, 7, 8 people hanging around my house, so not too crazy to think of that. Next up, folks, is John Turnbull and his New England Patriots. This is the other team that cannot score enough points. They are opportunistic on defense. They do take it away. They have scored points in interception returns with a very good secondary with Mike Haynes leading the way, who will be traded to the Raiders for 83, and he'll win a Super Bowl with the Raiders in 83. And then, of course, Jeff's beloved Dolphins. He loves his Miami Dolphins. He could never understand how this team wasn't better in Status Pro, because they were the best defense in football, at least I think yardage-wise. I don't think they weren't the best points against defense, I don't believe. But he couldn't understand why they weren't rated. They didn't have as high a rated great players as the Raiders had, the Cowboys had. But either way, he had a heck of a time beating the Raiders and the Cowboys with that Dolphins team. So we got John Turnbull and the Patriots versus Jeff and the Miami Dolphins. That will be next up. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.